What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Lucas Live. I'm your host, Lucas Tyndale, here with some special guests in the building. We're actually going to have a rotation of guests here today on this Saturday morning. If you're watching this live or by replay, we appreciate you guys for jumping in. We are talking about the road to the Classic HBCU Youth Events that just happened this past weekend. There was a parade, there was a gospel concert, there was a pageant, there was all kinds of stuff. There was a game, there were games going on, there was all kinds of stuff going on, and we're going to hear from committee members. I have some right here next to me this morning, some lovely committee members. I have some others in the studio who are going to join us here in just a minute. Tune in live or by replay. If you're watching this by replay, type replay in the comments so we know you're here by replay. Just we want to know you're here. We want to know you're with us. We want to know you're with us. We're going to jump right in. Like I said, there's going to be several guests, lots of topics, lots of good stuff. And we're still going to put this off in about 30 minutes or so. You know, we're going to see what we can do. But you guys tune in. I want to say welcome to my guest this morning.
Oh, thanks for having us.
This is a mother-daughter duo. I just realized that. I didn't. Nobody told me. I didn't know until they got here. I was like, y'all both last name Smith, but so is Will.
Related?
That don't mean related to Will. I don't know. Everybody's last name is Smith.
We saw Will for an hour and 20 minutes in his, what was it, camper thing?
Oh, yeah, his little camper. When he
they
was
related to Will Smith as well. This is getting more and more exciting every minute.
We're not related to Will Smith, y'all.
I took it one step too far. All right. Tell everybody who you are and what your involvement was with this past weekend's events.
Okay, I am Pastor Lisa Smith, and I was the director of the pageant, the Teen Ruby pageant. So we had a great time, and
it all came together, huh?
Yeah, it came together. Together. But just being a director, doing the program, doing different things on the committee.
Yeah.
And it's it's going with the road to the Classic.
Yes.
But we're a separate entity, but together.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. We're going to hear some more about that. And Miss Sierra, tell them who you are. Tell them what your involvement was. Yesterday we had the pageant winner in the building.
Yes.
And the people in the room, they were in the comments and they were having a good time and cheering them on. Now they are not for one person. They're celebrating the winner, but they're part of the committee that just helps pull people together, helps with the judging and the judges, whatever happens. Yes. But they are excited to be here today. So Sierra, tell us who you are. Tell us about yourself.
Okay. Well, I am Sierra Smith. I am actually the owner of Divine Vision. So I do a lot of the flyers, the logo design behind the Miss HBCU Teen Ruby. But we pretty much, we are not the judges. So we had to pretty much bring other women from the community, outstanding women from the community to be able to be judges.
Yes.
What I play, I'm co-coordinator with my mama here.
Love that.
So we pretty much was given this whole vision from Atira Ashley. So she was from Charlotte Unlimited.
Yep.
We wanted to make sure that we were able to implement the youth within this event. So we're excited. We're very excited for all the contestants. And of course, congratulations, Madison Gordon, Miss AKA Primetime.
Hey, Miss Primetime.
Yes.
So where did this name come from?
Okay, my daughter and I were sitting at the table, and we were getting some ideas, just talking. And so Teen Ruby comes up because of the ruby in the Bible. It's mentioned.
Yes.
It made the cut in the Bible. So these girls are representing rubies. The Bible says, who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies, but rubies made the cut.
Right.
So, just dealing with what a ruby is, they all will be rubies year after year, but Madison is Miss Primetime because she's the first.
Okay.
Okay, so the next queen will have a different name, but she still will be a ruby for life.
Amen.
I like that. I didn't realize that. Okay, so I was thinking every year it's going to be the prime time. That like the name was the name. Miss America's Miss America. That's it, Miss America.
Right.
But I love that you guys are looking at that. I love the idea of the ruby and teaching young ladies. Talk to me a little bit, and here I'll start with you, and then Pastor Lisa, about the importance of young ladies seeing themselves as jewels. What do you think about that?
I believe that it's not just about the outer appearance; it's about the inward appearance. It's about what you believe, who you are within yourself. Yeah. So if we first and foremost, really worry about who you are on the inside and show who you really are out to people. That's what will truly shine on the outside. So
I love that. I love that. And we do live in a world of existential exterior stuff, right?
Yeah.
With social media and everything. And I'm not obviously I'm not an anti-social media person. Thank you guys for being here with us here on social media. If you're watching live on Facebook or YouTube, wherever you're watching from, we appreciate it. But it can become a place of external beauty. Mm-hmm. And everyone is trying to show their external beauty endlessly and trying to look better and better and better while there's no development on the inside, which leaves people with an empty life because outer beauty doesn't build a life, right? But inner beauty certainly does. Pastor Lisa, what are your thoughts about the importance of young ladies understanding that they are rubies and jewels?
Yeah, it's beyond the beauty, for these girls. And as Sierra said, it's that light shining from within, and even with a ruby, a diamond, any jewel.
Yeah.
If there's light shining from within, the light outside, no matter how that ruby is turned, it's going to give a different appearance.
Yeah.
A different, and so that's what we want them to see. So we do team building, at our practices for these girls to make sure we're bringing the inside of them out. And it doesn't matter how you look on the outside, because how you look on the inside really is going to make the difference on the outside.
Absolutely. I love that. What do you two, talk to me a little bit about the process of planning this event. I was talking to you guys earlier, and we were talking about walking on water and getting out of the boat and starting something new, because not just in a small town, but in any place, when you start something new, people are like, they don't know if they're going to get involved. They don't know if they're going to support. They're waiting for momentum. They're waiting for something to pop for them to get involved. But the creators of a thing, the people who birth the thing, have to believe the thing exists underneath the surface. What was the process like for you all helping bring this a lot to life, along with the Tira and the committee and everybody else? What was it like putting the pieces together? Was there any arguments between you? No.
Wait, hold on now. Let's see. Hold on. So, the process in itself, I think, first of all, foremost, you have to, God was the head of our lives, first and foremost. With that being said, that's the foundation behind it all, and really seeking God's face on how we should really push forward with this, event and this program. It was really more important for us because, I have kids, so I'm like, I want to make sure that the youth have something going forward for generations to come.
Right.
So when it comes to the planning behind it, honestly, I'm going to just say this, my mom. My mom.
She knows how to give birth to greatness.
Yes.
You've seen this in your life.
She's done 24 hours with the King for over how many years?
20-something years.
So, I've watched her do events, and knowing of excellence of how an event should look.
Right.
And then putting each, section of the event together, just watching her. For the most part, it was just like, okay, Mom, how we gonna do this?
I love it.
So
I love it. So, Pastor Lisa, what was it like from your angle?
Launching is very important to me. So because I ran track, I did different, things in track, hurdles and all that stuff back in my heyday.
Okay, come on
Marcus.
now.
Marcus.
He back there running. He back there doing the motions.
This is about the youth. So I'm always using my track experiences to teach. So the long jump was one of the things I did, and you had to have a launching board. And so you would run as fast as you could, place your foot on the launching board, and then launch off into the dirt where they would measure you.
Right.
So there always has to be a launching board, So we want these girls to be launched, without being disqualified.
Yes.
Because if you don't hit the board, then nothing else matters.
Come on now.
So if you don't have faith in God,
Yeah.
nothing else will matter. So we want to make sure. And also, if these young people can see the unity in adults and parents, then that will make them want to launch. They will be excited about joining something. So that's what this whole thing is all about, making sure the youth, because we're not going to be here forever. Amen?
Come on now. That's
And
all
so
right.
we have to pass the torch to these young people, but pass it with things being vital. that are taught to them.
I love that. So important, young men and young women. And talk to me a little bit, because I think you guys are going to get young men involved as well in the future. Is it going to be some component with that? What's that look like?
You know what? We would hope so. We would want another male figure to be able to take that side of it.
Okay.
But as of right now, I mean, we are focusing on the young ladies right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in the future, we would hope so.
I love that. And the guys got a lot of stuff going on with games and a lot of stuff going on, you know what I mean, for the football. But I love that you guys brought this to this part of the HBCU weekend. We've been doing it here for several years. Things kind of come and people get excited, then they lose it. And then, as Marcus said, Marcus will be on here shortly. There wasn't a lot. There was no real plan for the youth. There was no real, like, it was like, maybe they'll come to the game, maybe not. That was it, right? And it's but to put something on for them, I think is so important. What you guys did for these young ladies, I think is so important. What would you guys say to somebody out there who is considering joining the pageant next year, and or if there's others who want to be involved in helping with the planning? What would you say to them?
Yes, we welcome that. We have a strong committee, but as far as signing up, the girls signing up, we're going to get some things in order for that. Mentor Start was a great help.
Okay, that's one of our sponsors here.
They were a great help in getting, some girls to sign up. So Lexi Wright came from Mentor Start, from that program. So different people help out. Jackson Bear Hugs, they were a great help.
Love
with
them
us.
with the clothing and things.
Yes,
they're another strong supporter of ours.
Yes,
wow.
praise God. Yeah, we had an outing with them. They provided food for us, and the girls, and our escorts. We had 2 guy escorts that were handsome.
Wow.
We're kind of biased because it was my grandson, his son, and
I was going to say,
our
we had 2 that was handsome. We had another 2 that was just over there. They just looked like little Larry in there. The 2 handsome ones, though, let's talk about that. No, there was just 2. There was just, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
if they want to sign up, please do. We'll get more information out about that.
We got time now.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we got time.
Yes.
I mean, we just kicked it off, so we don't have to rush. But keep your eyes out, ladies and gentlemen, who are considering being involved in this. Ladies specifically, obviously, who want to be involved in this. Parents who want their child to be involved in things like this. This is beyond an extracurricular activity, really helping develop their character, the things they have to think about. We were talking yesterday to Madison. She was talking about just speaking and how she had to speak more and do things like that.
Yes.
And her and I were both talking about, I was very quiet as a kid, but I had teachers who believed in me, who were like, you're different, you're special. And that helped so much, and I had a great mom. My mom was like, I don't care if nobody else thinks you're great. I think you're great. I was like, oh, my mom said I'm great, so I better back up. So it helped me be who I am today. But those pivotal moments when somebody could look at you and say you're not enough could cause you to go down the wrong road, but having opportunities to step up, win or not, right? It's not, there's almost no losing, right? For the girls who did not win, they still had a winning experience, I'm sure, coming through this program, and they took away things that would help them.
Yes.
And they're willing to help out next year.
I love that.
With the other girls, yes.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah, definitely. I would say definitely follow the page, Miss HBCU Team Ruby. That's where we will start to post some upcoming events, even just for what our queen will be at, and then also how to basically apply for next year. So
I love it. Thank you both so much for coming on here today.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, these 2 great guests, Miss Pastor Lisa and her daughter Sierra Smith, we're here in the building. They were on the committee. Now, there is not going to be some fancy transition. They're going to get up and walk off, and then we're going to bring in our next guest, and then we're going to bring in another guest, and we're going to keep it going. Thank you guys so much for being here. This is live, Lucas Live. We're making it happen. They came to the studio. I called Marcus. I said, man, I got to get you back in the studio. And then he showed up today. He had a bus. He had a church bus. It was a bunch of people came off the bus. I was like, who is everybody? I said, come on over. I said, welcome. No, I'm so glad they were able to come. We here at Lucas Live Media are big supporters of the road to the Classic, of the HBCU Classic, working with Adrian Allison at the Hall of Fame. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to everybody who put together this past weekend and all the wonderful things that happened. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome. Miss Lora Howell is in the building. You had a role to play in the gospel concert, is that right?
Yes.
All right, talk to us a little bit about it. First of all, why being involved in the gospel concert for you? Like, why was that even a thought or a thing? There's a lot of things to be involved in. being involved in a gospel concert is some work, and you got to hope everything performs well and people perform well and people show up. Why did you get involved in that piece?
Well, basically, it all started with Mr. Marcus Bentley.
Okay. The man with the plan.
He reached out to WAP, Walking with a Purpose. And because I do volunteer with them, they then reached out to me.
Okay, boom.
And I said, oh, I had to think on it. I said, because definitely it is a big task.
Yeah.
And anything I'm involved with, I want it to be the best of the best.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, with everything that I had going on, I said, is this something that I could do?
Right.
And, I prayed on it. I actually consulted with my pastor. And I said, okay, this is something I can do. And I said, well, I'm more of the coordinator, I would always say, because I said, exactly. I said, I can't get it all done myself.
Yes.
But I can form a team.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people that know a lot of people.
Yes.
So we can do this.
I love it.
And that's how it happened.
I know a lot of people that know a lot of people. That relational currency is priceless, ladies and gentlemen out there. Don't forget that you know somebody that knows somebody. And it doesn't mean when we know somebody, we call everybody and like, you better do this, you owe me. But it's like when you treat people good, they're willing to step up and help, right?
Amen.
So talk to me a little bit about how the gospel concert went, who was involved. What was that like for those who don't know?
I will say, because it was the first, I wanted to get, me being the person that I am, I wanted to collaborate and get everybody involved, And so I did. I reached out to a lot of different agencies, a lot of different people, different churches, even, with the schools. And, and then even with different people, I reached out to them as well. But sometimes what we made, our vision may not be God's vision.
Sure.
So he had to pull that back, like, okay, no, this is not the way we're going to do this.
Everybody's not going to be here, but we're going to make it work.
There you go.
Yes.
There you
yes.
go. And so we had different things that happened, people changes, different things like that had to shift.
Yeah.
And I had one of my friends that was actually involved, Shamir Johnson. She said, how about we use the people that we already have?
I love that.
And I said, that's what we gonna do, sis.
I love that. Start
and
with what you
run
got.
With that.
Come on, look at them cabinets and pick out some food you already got and make something, right?
Exactly.
All right.
And that's what we did. And then I reached out to my brother, Brian Panther,
Okay.
and he said, sis, I got you.
I love it.
He said, wherever you need me, I got you. And he is a man of many talents.
Yes.
And so that's how it started. We ran with it. We also had, Brandon Talbert. He's also with WAP.
Yep.
And so he said, I got you.
He's a musical guy. He's a singer. He's a dancer. He can do it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he was also one of the voice coaches.
Love that.
And so we basically reached out for a pastor as far as practices, and that's Michael Presley, my pastor.
Okay, that's your pastor.
Yes, Mount Zion, Church of God in
shout out to
Christ.
y'all. Yeah.
Yes. And so we held the practices there 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
That sounds like old school church. You got to be in church every day. We got to be there Monday. We got praise practice. Tuesday, we got usher board practice. All right, but that's good though. Got people involved.
Yeah.
And it was a sprint, right? It's like, this isn't the ongoing forever choir. We're trying to get something done here and put together something. What do you think the role of faith plays in community, right? Because this all could have happened without a faith component. I mean, it's enough to do, right? It's about football. Come on now. Why do you think faith is such an important part of this?
Because at the end of the day, faith is what you fall back on.
Yeah.
We need faith to survive.
Yes.
When life gets to life and we have no other options.
Come on.
And we're not in control of anything.
Come on.
We have to.
Gotta have faith.
Gotta have it.
Got to have faith.
Gotta have it.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree. And I think of it all the time. I mean, without it, we don't have hope. Without hope, we don't make moves because we don't think we're going to be successful. So having faith is everything. And it's a big part of the Black culture. We're talking about HBCU weekend.
Definitely.
I mean, what Black people in America came through without faith, they would not have come through. They would not have come out of it because it was the most hopeless situation you could imagine in American slavery. And we'd be having some rough days when we'd be like, they out of my favorite thing at the Walmart.
Yes.
They'd be like, nah, we was out there in the fields and taking the scrap. We picked the best of the best stuff and gave it to somebody who was mistreating us, and then we took the scraps and made something out of it. And we have whole meals and culture around some of those things, but faith means so much, and I love that component was added in because it could have been overlooked. I don't think overlooking is a word, overlooked. And the fact that you stepped up and did it, I think, means a lot. What is your hope for the future of this part of the event?
Bigger, better. We had so many people that reached out where we couldn't allow them to join because it was too late in the game, where it was like they wouldn't learn all the songs in time, different things like that. So it was like, we would love you to participate.
Okay. Most of the time, the black church be like, come on up here now, come on now. You've been to one practice. You've got 2 solos, okay, because you can sing. But you did this, what they say, decently and in order, right? You said,
exactly.
Let's do this right. And if if you haven't been in enough of these practices, you've missed too much of the movement to jump in now with respect to those who are already involved, with respect to making it a great show. But next year, the runway is long right now to get involved next year. So to all those who were interested in being involved, all those who said, nobody told me, we're telling you now.
Yes.
We want you to be involved.
Definitely.
Get involved. Let's do this. Let's make this a special event. And who knows, they may do some other events one day. I don't know. I can see us do some other concerts or something. I love it. I love it. I love it. What would you say? One last thing to those that helped, to those that were involved. What thank yous would you want to give to those who were involved in this?
Thank you to Miss Stacy Morgan. She had her dance children come out, ordered steps. They did a wonderful job. Amazing. Also, to Thomas Bank, he came in, he mimed. Amazing. He did an excellent job. Yeah. Also to I'm trying to think of their names, Abdallah Otis.
Okay, I know Abdallah
and the drumline team, the Lancaster drumline team.
Okay.
They came in with their dancers, also with their flag ministry.
Yes.
And they came in and participated as well. Also to Alfonso Curry, he stepped in at the last minute, literally 2 days.
Wow.
Piano was said, emergency, can't do it, won't be there. What do you mean? Alfonso Curry came in and did it. So that was amazing. Just everybody that was involved, everybody that the parents that sent the children. I had one parent, we call her Coco, but she sent about 6 kids every time that lived in the community, and they walked. And sometimes they even went to the park at first, but then they came on down.
Where them kids at?
Exactly. But she was a huge step, and anytime I needed her for anything, she was always there. She even came in and sat in, on one of the practices. And so she had like 13 kids towards the end that wanted to get involved as well. Wow. So it was like, So I would just say thank you to everybody. I hope I did not miss anybody. But our huge shout out to my church family at Mount Zion, to my pastor and First Lady, Michael and Yvonne Presley, and also to the late Sister Marcia Sue Presley. I actually did events with her for years, as far as like Christmas events, black light, puppets, and things like that.
Love that.
And so
to help prepare you for this.
Exactly.
I love that.
So I just want to say, can't wait till next year. Be looking out. Hopefully we'll have some people that come on and collaborate with us.
Yes.
And like I said, bigger and better is where it's at.
Bigger and better is where it's at. Thank you so much, Lora. To the guys, Walk with a Purpose. Tony, Ron, we see you in the comments. WAP is doing it again. Thank you guys for being involved. Thank you so much, Lora, for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have another transition live. We got our final guest coming on. He's gonna come wrap it up. I'm gonna have him push that last chair out the way and just sit in this chair that's kind of tangled up in the. There we go. We're gonna work it out. I'm gonna throw the mic on the floor. Look at that. This is Lucas live
hey,
today. What's going on, my man?
Hey, bro, that relational currency.
That relational currency, man.
Ooh, money and the relation of the wealth and the relationship.
Of knowing people, right? Like,
that was
relational currency. It's a thing.
Currency. I got to tag it.
It's priceless, man. Yeah. Think about that. Think about who you knew. You have a lot of relational currency. You reached out to people and put together a whole thing that didn't exist before because you have relational currency. Yeah. They value, currency is just something we value. They value the relationship what they have with you. They're willing to exchange their talents, gifts, and abilities. Some people, their money, whatever it is. because of who you are to them and who they are to you. Relational currency is priceless.
That's
It's
huge.
priceless.
Your network is your net worth.
It is.
And, you know, even in speaking of the faith portion, at the last minute, we didn't have a host for the church, so we went to Deliverance, and I was able to get in touch with the pastor, Pastor Shavers,
shout out to him,
and
yeah.
Tammy and her youth group.
Okay.
And you know, everybody did this for free.
Yeah.
Nobody was compensated
Wow.
in any way for it. You know, this was all volunteer.
That's amazing.
So if you can imagine that portion, that was just huge. So big shout out to Deliverance Church.
Yes.
You know, I think me and my mom got baptized back in the day there. I think we only went one time.
Okay.
We got baptized maybe twice.
Okay,
So I
they got
think that
baptized.
lasted
You
up to
double
this
wet.
point.
Yeah,
so-
you double good.
So you know, that was some good baptism to last
Right.
up to this point, man.
love it.
Yeah, and then we actually introduced the Warren P. Shavers Community Impact Award, which Brother Adrian Kelly won that, and Denzel Williams won the, I think the community Dunwoody.
Oh, the George Dunwoody. Okay.
Yeah, George Dunwoody. Yeah.
Those are
George
some big
Dunwoody
names right there
Youth
you just
Advocate
named.
Award, yeah. So
Pastor
it
Shavers,
was
Warren
versed.
P. Shavers,
Yeah, Warren P. Shavers.
and you know, Gabriel's father,
Yeah.
and such a historic pastor in our area, and then Pastor George Dunwoody, just a huge, from Hartford to the church to everywhere, just a huge impact on all of. I mean, myself is included, right? We all, so many of us are sitting here because of who he was. I'm telling you, one thing I always have to say this about Pastor Dunwoody. When I went to Hartford, my father just went to prison. Our life had really changed. We moved into the inner city, 10th Street. You know, it was that culture, that lifestyle was new to me. And then going to Hartford was new to me. And then, you know, you're going to get your free lunch tickets, you know what I mean? And just dealing with life. And I'm going to, but just to have that big smile and that warmth and that love and that, how you doing?
I remember he had a big Jerry curl down to his back.
Yeah.
Though. He had the biggest Jerry curl
I missed
ever.
the Jerry curl days.
He had a wave. He had a wave nouveau.
He had the Wave Nouveau. Had all the products from the old C&J's. Go check out my
I know
friends
his
down the
wife
beauty
is out
spot.
there. I love y'all. But you know he did. It was a big one. Too.
He had the biggest,
Like
baddest,
a big
best
lion, a big.
Jerry
Lion.
Wave, carefree. It was something. He didn't care. It was curling. He was doing it. It was greasy. He was preaching, sweating, and passing out lunch tickets. Shout out to Pastor Dunwoody. He was the man. He was the man. But in fact, there's so many lives in this community. So to have something named after him is only right. I love that. And then Pastor Warren P. Shavers baptized a lot of people. I think I learned my first Bible scripture, just as I went a couple of times too with some friends. You show up and they're like, "You gonna be in the church play?" I'm like, "I just showed up. I don't know what we doing." But I started going to practices and we learned, some scriptures. And I remember just never forgetting those things. And just the impact that he had on.
And he was
on the
he was
community.
in the hood, like, you know, he was busy.
Yeah.
You know, he could connect, and you could know his story, and you know, and my mama knew him.
Yeah.
You know, she knew who he was, but then saw what he
my mom
became.
too, from around the way. She'd be like, "Man, he used to be."
So that's the miracle side of it. So it's not as difficult to follow somebody that's been there and knowing that they're at least attempting to do, you know, the best they can, you know. So, you know, and sharing the word, you know.
Yes.
Yep. So
talk to us a little bit. You're the man who pulled all these pieces together. Everybody has thanked you in some way, and I know you're not. You don't. I don't want to say you don't seem to. You don't do this for everybody's applause. You're just moving forward, doing the next thing, serving the community. This isn't the only way you serve the community. You do other things. Why is this like? How did you evolve to this person? You know, former basketball player, former guy from around the way. You're still a pretty handsome gentleman at this point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, so you're a pretty cool guy. You could be out there like Idris Elba on TV or something. You know what I'm saying? But here you are. You know,
Idris Elbows.
Idris Elbows. But here you are, our very own Idris Elbows. Again, here you are in the city, just continuing to serve. Talk to us about why you do it and how did it feel pulling off this event?
You know what? And I know it's tough, and I got people out there that is to come back to Canton is tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of trauma. We've lost a lot of people. So people leave here and don't come back.
Right.
And so, and being developed in Akron, going to the university, once again, Mary Ellis filling out the paperwork for me to go to college. The things that I learned in college and in the Akron community, the leaders that I met there to look back at my neighborhood and say, you know, what can I give back? You know, if somebody didn't reach out to get me out, then I would have been left behind. So that was the impact that I saw. So I accidentally, once again, ended up in a meeting representing our organization Lava, but also our fraternity for the Divine Nine, Iota Phi Theta. And so we were in a meeting, and my Uncle Jeff said, hey, you need to come to this meeting. But once again, in that meeting, it was like everything was for the adults.
Right.
And so that's where it started. Once we said, hey, me being in the community, working with the youth, how can we create a generation of individuals who will be the next Hall of Famer, the next great pageant winner, right? So that's how it all evolved, man. And so I was like, I'm a coach. Team building is vital, and understanding how can we network. So creating a model. So the first thing I did was created a model. I got together with the doctors in psychology, doctors in education, and said, well, these have to be more than just events. So the Road to the Classic, these aren't events, these are actually programs.
I love that.
Right? So we can easily gather together, but once we disperse, what can it be?
Yes.
So I met with Dr. Lodge, Tania Lodge, she was there from Kindred Spirit, and I said, okay, if we, what is the foundation of if we start this program? It can be a prevention program because I'm a social worker and I'm a prevention specialist assistant. How can we line this up with the model for the ADM board, Alcohol and Drug Administration board? You know, so how do we line it up with mental health? So what theory do we use as our service delivery that after we do the events, right? What is an optimal program? So we use the optimal theory. So behind what you're seeing, right, it's called optimal theory. Dr. Linda J. Myers, if you guys Google her, she has this theory in Black psychology of what works for us. So we have to be culturally competent, we have to be ethnically competent, and also we have to have the psychology and the value system to filter everything through. So now this is the work part.
Yeah.
So now we have to go through with our advisory board, right? So what you saw are our committees.
Yes.
So we have a board of committees for the Classic, but we also have another side. So what you saw was like 15%, because we didn't even do the science fair. You know, we didn't even do it. We did literacy with the spelling bee.
I mean, we didn't do it here, but did you do it?
We haven't done it yet.
Okay, those are coming.
So, yeah, because
okay,
we have
got
to find the leadership.
Okay, got
So
you.
we have a math, a math competition. So we have a whole educational framework.
Yeah.
We have the business fair for the kids.
Wow.
So there's a whole other division that you only saw this small component to where you're going to see more from the Road to the Classic. So now we have to assess. The football game brought 2,000 people here to Crenshaw Park.
Wow.
Right? But we had Columbus come in for the parade. At the football game,
that sounds like as many people went to the real game.
Yeah.
That's I mean.
Yeah, so it was amazing. 2,000 people in Crenshaw Park. We had Youngstown, Akron, and Cleveland represented on the football game. At the parade, we had Columbus, Youngstown, Cleveland. And so that's what we were looking to do for the Classic, right? We want to, it's all the Road to the Classic is to get the kids to the game, but develop along the way.
Yes.
The game is just a celebration. So if you look at the pageant, we have to review the pageant now. We have to look at it and say, we're hearing this impact. Psychologically, what did it do for the community? Psychologically, what did it do for the girls that participated? So now how do we create events on the way throughout the year? Or what kind of curriculum can we create to go in the school system to get these little girls in kindergarten, first grade, thinking, how can I be a Ruby one day, right?
Yes.
You know, for our athletes that participated, once we play the game, once we go back, what are the resources that we're giving them? So that's how this becomes a prevention program. It's an alternative. So the Road to the Classic is more than just that.
I love it. I mean, that is a very powerful thing. Oftentimes we have moments with no momentum.
There you go.
And the reason you don't have momentum is because you don't have a plan to have momentum. Like there was just, and it takes so much work to do a thing. Usually when you're done doing the thing, you're like, I don't want to think about another thing. I thought every time my kid had a birthday party, I'll be like, man, I ain't never doing another birthday party. Man, I'm sick of this. All these kids, the house is tore up. I'm taking them to Chuck E. Cheese or something. But then every year you're doing it again. But in order to get momentum in a thing, you have to have a plan to go forward and say, what else is this other than this moment? Because so often kids have one moment they can be involved in and maybe another moment over here and maybe another moment over here. And there's no consistency that allows them to build towards something greater. So
So we can't just just like us in the community, we march, but then what?
Yeah,
so where's the relational? Where's the financial literacy? Where's the tools that I need? Where's the education? Where's the emotional intelligence that needs to be designed? How do I know that you're still there? We just partying.
Right.
We just marched, but now what is the meaning of the march?
Yeah.
What is the meaning? So, that 1,000 youth march is vital.
Yes.
So now, us collaborating, man. We need to get people from all over the state for that.
That's a
man.
great point.
And so now, those kids are meeting kids from different industries. So the problem is the adults are burning the bridges and building the walls, and because of their flaws, and because of their relationships, right?
Yeah.
And you can't even barely walk around somewhere. Every city I go to, if I go to Lorraine, I got to figure out who I need to know to get to this, just to do a program, right?
Right.
We got programs all over the state, but usually I have to go through somebody, and then it's this gatekeeper who has access to it that won't open the door because it's like, do you own the kids or what?
Right. What is this?
And we supposed to be
working
together.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just
so
trying to help.
once we break that down, and we create that unity like it's supposed to look, you get what I'm saying? That's when the kids win, because the kids know, they're real. The kids will tell you like it is.
Right.
Like, man, they can smell fake from a mile away.
Absolutely.
Yep. So that's where we are now, man. Assessment, how do we make it better? We got the division that is based on the HBCU model, which they did with the parade, with the dance, stomp, shake. You got Charlotte Unlimited. You had the Akron 330 with Micah. See, you put people in position to do what they do best, right? We couldn't do that. We could get the game together, but all of those, the parade, the organizing, and then Ms. Danzel was going to be here. I didn't realize the community impact when. Now this is what made it amazing. One of the people from Cleveland, one of the organizers said this. She's like, "This is so powerful. It's in our community." She's from Cleveland.
Wow.
But she was in the heart of Canton.
Wow.
And when she said, I said, "Would you say that again?" She's like, "This is us." She said, "This is where it starts."
Yeah.
We could have took it downtown.
Yeah.
We could have took it anywhere else, but you're in the midst of an area where it's judged.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, some people didn't show up. I found out, man, we thought they was gonna shoot it up. You know what I mean?
On, man.
Like, what you mean? I'm like, so the ideal that we brought that into the community, and they marched from Columbus, from Cleveland down Sheridan Road to the center to Crenshaw Park. Then after that, they did like a mini battle with the bands in the showcase right there.
Incredible.
In the heart of Canton, Ohio, the home of football.
Yes.
This is the history of football. You don't got no football without Canton,
Right.
Ohio.
That's right.
Right. So I know I'm running off at the mouth, but we got to put the can back in Canton.
I love that.
It got to be Can Town. You know what I mean?
I love it. I love it. Marcus, you're a guy who can and you do. So I want to thank you for not just being a guy of ideas, but a guy of action. I think we need more of that. And it's no hate to those who don't. They just need to realize they have to. It's waiting. People are waiting on opportunity that they need to create themselves. The opportunity, every day I just keep thinking about this, like, I never hear opportunity knock. I never hear it. But I'm knocking for opportunity. Like, I got to go seek it. I got to go chase it. I got to go want it. I got to go do a thing to get a thing. If I don't plant a seed, I can't grow a crop. So this idea that this crop is going to grow and knock on my front door and be like, "Hey, we out here ready for you to take," it's like, that doesn't happen. So to be Can Town, not just Canton, and say I can do a thing and I will do the thing, and I'm going to, every day in between doing the thing, I'm going to build the relational currency so that when I need to do it, I can cash in and cash out on the relational currency. And no matter how many dollars I have, we can make it happen.
That
right?
relational
So
I'm telling you, I'm stealing it. I'm borrowing it.
I didn't make it up. So you take it. I read it.
Ain't nothing wrong with being a copycat as long as you copy the right cat.
I like that. I'm gonna start saying that. I love it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap this thing up. Marcus, I can't thank you enough for.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for the platform, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for what you and Danny, y'all amazing, man. Yeah, I'm tuning in. I can't wait till this goes worldwide.
I appreciate it. Always appreciate the love. You were my first guest back on Lucas Live. I hadn't even been doing them. Our conversation about this was so good. I said, I got to turn on the camera, and we sat here and recorded it. Now I've done several more episodes. You got me back in the seat, back doing
that
it.
Relational currency.
That relational currency got it happening, man. So I appreciate you for that. Your momentum and your action inspires others, including me. Thank you so much. I'll see you here again soon. Don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap this thing up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here for another episode of Lucas Live. You're watching this live by replay. We really appreciate you. Make sure you share the broadcast so that others can learn about this other great information. We'll see you next time on Lucas Live. Everybody have a great day.